Hey guys, what is going on? And welcome back to another episode of Club and Country. It's episode number 60, and today we're returning with a brand new season as our 7th season at Rigamonti gets underway today with our 3rd year in the Champions League, aiming to reach the final once again and also win the Serie A title for the 4th straight year. Today we see one on pre-season, the opening day fixture at home to Bologna against Niko Kovac, and of course the much loved transfer special as well. Let's get to that first. So this was our most expensive summer transfer window of the save, even more expensive than season 2, when we spent over £50 million assembling a totally new core here with Brescia. It was a crazy summer window, but of course we all started departures as always, and really nobody too noteworthy leaving the club. Nobody leaving on permanent deals either, any noteworthy players I should say. The only 2 players that left us that are noteworthy were Mattia Zaccagni, who of course last year spent a loan spell out at Hellas Verona. We signed him a few years ago, but he never really played consistently for us. He played a lot of games, but not consistently in our team. Of course, Claudio Baccardi became our advanced playmaker, so this guy sort of got cast out from our team, if you will. And also Kevin Bonifazi also left the club on a free transfer as well. He's gone to Sassuolo there at 29 years old. Again, we signed him a few years ago from Spal, but he was like 6th choice centre-half here. And whilst oftentimes we do play with 3 at the back, or 3 centre-halves I should say, in a 3 or 5 at the back system, he was always the sort of the last man up, if you know what I mean. And he barely ever played. He played like 6 games in about 3 or 4 years. So Bonifazi and Zaccagni leave on frees. That's about it though. No real other major departures. A couple of youngsters leaving on loan, but that's about it. But as for the signings, whilst we did spend more money than ever before, there were only 3 players coming in, but the quality, oh my goodness. All I'm saying is this is our best Brescia team ever by far, and it's not even close. We start off with the token teenager though. There's always one. Every single summer transfer window in any same I do, there's always at least one. And this is the one this time around. Tommaso Barbieri. This is a young central midfielder we signed from Bologna. Costs around 1.4 mil to get him in. Yep, 1.4 mil exactly. And whilst he only played 1 game at youth level last season for Bologna, I like his stats, and he's certainly got a decent future. Already 17 natural fitness with 14 stamina. Very good on a 17-year-old. Only turned 17 a couple months ago. 14 balance as well, mentally as well, 16 determination, 15 teamwork and 14 work rate, a holy trinity for mental stats for me. And technically already as a central midfielder, 14 first touch and 15 passing. Certainly has a long way to go, but his base stats are very good. And again, in the other stats here that can be improved significantly over time, 10 dribbling, 10 marking, 10 tackling, 10 technique as well. He's got a long way to go, of course, but with the right training and coaching, he could definitely be part of our team as the years go by. So just the 2 signings remaining to show you then. Just like last season, only 3 new players coming in the summer transfer window, but it's quality over quantity, and you definitely can't deny that with the 2 players I'm going to show you next. Starting with a new centre-back here to replace Kevin Bonifazi, but I don't think it'll be 5th or 6th choice centre-back. I think this guy will be 1st or 2nd. What a steal we have just pulled off here as we sign Alessandro Bastoni from Inter Milan for a lowly £16 million. It's an absolute bargain. You see here, Inter Milan signed from Atalanta when he was 18 or 19 years old with 27.5 mil. I had to actually just look that up just a moment ago because I was stunned to read that. I didn't think that was the case, but fair enough. They spent a lot of money on him as a teenager, a big gamble. But in the game, for some strange reason, he just never really got the game time. In fact, his most capped sort of senior season for the club, if you will, was this one here a couple of years ago. But he only played 19 games, half the season in the Serie A, and 11 of those were coming from the bench. I don't know why, but for some reason Inter just did not play him in the game and therefore decided to cash in on him for this season after only playing him 3 times last season. Yes, there are red flags to this, but I don't know why it is, because he hasn't had problems with injuries. We signed him for 16 mil, which is again way under what they signed for him as a 19-year-old. They weren't going to play him, but I certainly have big plans for this guy. He's got some fantastic stats, and definitely again, probably our best, if not our 2nd best centre-back here at the club. Physically, as you can see, 6'3", so very tall out with really well balanced physical stats. He's not slow at all, with 13 acceleration, agility and pace as well, with 18 jumping at 6'3". He's going to be really good in the air with 14 strength and 14 balance as well. Mentally, very solid all across the board. Nothing of concern here. Reads the game very well. Good composure, good decision and decent concentration as well. 17 determination, 15 positioning as well. Really good to see. And technically as well, 15 heading, 14 marking and 13 tackling. Not the best, but as a ball-playing centre-half, he's already got 12 for first touch, 13 for technique, and 14 for passing as well. He brings the ball out of defence. Nice little trait here, because we do like our players to do that and be comfortable in possession when building from the back. And on 62 grand a week, a 5-year deal at 26 years old, we've got him for his prime years. And again, it's 16 mil, and that contract not being the priciest. This, in my opinion, is one of the steals of the save. Absolute bargain, and I believe won't be long for he's a regular in the Italy team, and he'll be one of our best centre-halves here as well. This is an absolute bargain. I cannot understand why Inter just weren't playing him. So moving on, third and final signing of the window, and just like last season, we have smashed the club record transfer fee again. Last year it was bringing in Andre Anderson. This year we've signed a new gen / regen for £39 million, and I really hope he lives up to the big price tag as well. He's only 21 years old, but I believe this guy is a future star in world football. Mauro Rigora, welcome to the Rigamonti. I am so excited about this young man. The only red flag for me is that as soon as he signed for us, his determination dropped by a stat. You know, there are certain things in FM that are just so common and that always happen. You know, wingers cutting in and shooting from a ridiculously tight angle into the side netting. You know, VAR being called upon for a challenge inside the box when you know it's a clear penalty. And for me, I think one thing that should always happen is that determination should not go down when you join my team. Are you kidding me? How on earth did his determination drop by 1? People tell me FM's a realistic game. Come on now. But yeah, Mauro Rigora signed from Lazio for 39 mil, and I've got to say, man, I'm so excited about this guy. Now, he came out of the Juventus youth team, and as you know, I've been scouting him for quite some time, but Juve just would not let him go. Yet, for some reason, last year, they let him go to Lazio with 7.25 mil. I wish I put a scout report on him last summer, because I'd known that deal was available. I would have said, forget about Andre Anderson, I'm signing this guy instead. But he went to Lazio with 7.25 mil. He must have been in the last year as contract, that's probably why. He was a regular in their team, 32 games in the Serie A, though 12 did come from the bench, and really high pass completion ratios. So as a deep line playmaker, and with the stats he's got, you can see why. 39 mil is a huge fee to pay, but he's only 21 years old. He only just turned 21 a couple of months ago as well, and his stats are absolutely incredible. Physically, as you can see, he's a little lad at 5'7" with 5 for jumping, so don't put this guy in the area when defending set pieces, but everywhere else he's totally fine. He's relatively quick with 13 acceleration, 14 pace, with 17 agility, and 18 balance as well, really handy on a central midfielder, 17 natural fitness, and 17 stamina as well. I love those two there, so he keeps hold of his body really well, and 15 strength as well. Very surprising at just 5'7", and mentally as well. This guy already looks absolutely incredible and the real deal. 14 for anticipation and composure, with 17 for bravery, 16 decisions. Again, it was 19 determination. Why this dropped, I don't know. Answers on a postcard, please. But 15 positioning, 13 teamwork, 14 vision, and 17 work rate as well. For a young player to have that mental reading of the game already, that is incredibly impressive. And he backs it up with his technical stats as well. 11 crossing, he's not a wide player, but he could be turned into one. But 12 dribbling, yeah, it's not too bad. But 17 first touch, 14 passing. That's only going to get better as well in this team, with 13 technique as well, and he's got 15 tackling and 12 marking. So as a box-to-box on the defensive end, he'd be pretty good at the defensive job there. So really great stats. I think I probably will play him as a deep line playmaker. I was thinking about who I'd rather have though as the box-to-box in this team if we continue with the system we've been using. Deep line playmaker and box-to-box, he or Viviani, who does what role? That's the real question. But to be fair, both of them are very versatile, so could both do either role. Just depends what they end up excelling in to begin with. But yeah, both very versatile players. Rigora is incredibly versatile. He could even be a ball-winning midfielder with these stats here. Look at that, 15 positioning, 17 work rate. He's got the strength, the stamina, and the pace as well. Really, this guy as a central midfielder has got all the accolades to do any role. And again, I also believe he could be turned into a cheeky little fullback / wingback with the stats he's got here, the stamina and the energy as well. 39 mil, a lot of money, an incredibly pricey contract on £160,000 a week on a 5-year deal. I'm putting a lot of faith in this young man. I think he's going to be a star in world football though. Only time will tell. 56 mil though, incredibly expensive window. Only raised £11,000. Might as well not even bother. Might as well give out £11,000. But either way, incredibly pricey window. Big gamble on Rigora. We'll see if it pays off. So you can see financially here as well, our budget just plummeted in the summer. Absolutely plummeted. We'd never had 103 mil in our bank balance before. I don't know if we'll ever have for it again. It's down to under 50 mil now. Again, basically every single penny that was available to me was spent in this window, bringing in Rigora and Bastoni. And when you look at the wage bill here as well, Bastoni coming in on 62 grand a week, I think it was, and Rigora on 140, was it 140 or 160? I can't remember now, but either way, that's over £200,000 a week on those two players. Our wage budget expenditure now is £1.3 million. And I know I sound like a broken record when I say it, but it is totally true. The only reason we can afford this is because we still remain in the Champions League. If we ever drop out of the Champions League, we're screwed. But thankfully now, after 3 straight Serie A titles and last year reaching the final, I don't think that will happen. So I think we should be okay from here on out. So you take a look at the team report here. As you can see, the assistant once again suggests we've got a lot more strengths than weaknesses, which you love to see. And as the squad depth as well, I mentioned it very briefly a moment ago. I do believe this is the best Brescia team we have had since the save began. The depth is sublime. The versatility of some of our players as well, particularly Rigora, the new man coming in, is just fabulous. And I don't really see a weak spot in this team whatsoever. Perhaps a lot of depth at wing back, perhaps left back and right back as well, but really, I don't think so. I think we look at the options here. Pellegrini number 1, Muri number 2 is the option, and Pascucci is the third man coming through. And at right back as well, DePaoli and Barbieri, 2 really solid players, and any of our centre backs really can fill in right back as well. I don't think we've got a problem with depth or quality at all here with Brescia. In my opinion, this is the best Brescia team we've ever had, and I stand by that as well. The team cohesion is very good. The dressing room atmosphere is very good, and the managerial support is excellent as well. No player issues in the team. We haven't had a proper player issue in several years now, so I love that. We've really got this this sort of aspects of the game on lockdown right now. And as the hierarchy as well, the 3 team leaders, as you can see, Sebastiano Esposito, Armini the captain, and I can't remember if I mentioned this or not, but Fabio De Paoli has now become a team leader. I think I might have mentioned this in the special in depth I'm going to say, but yeah, De Paoli has now become a team leader, which I absolutely love. 28 years old, fantastic right back. I don't know how on earth he's not been called up by Italy yet, but he's now a team leader with a resolute personality. And as for the social groups as always, there are 4 splits here. At the start of every single season, this pretty much always happens, but over time they'll gel and become 1 or 2. There's really not too much else to show you actually before we dive into the first game of the season at home to Niko Kovac's Bologna, who of course thrashed us on the final day in this fixture last year by 3-0. For those that didn't watch the Club World Cup, just real briefly, well, first and foremost, you didn't miss much. Don't go back and watch it, you don't need to. But I did mention in that episode there we signed some new contracts to a few of our players. First and foremost, Tommaso Barbieri. I said last season he might have played his final game for the club. That's not the case. We managed to extend his contract. Delighted with that. He's now signed a new 4-year extension, expires in 2029. 50 grand a week, a lot of money, but I think he deserves it. Really class backup right back for De Paoli, and only 22 years old as well, though he will turn 23 tomorrow. Also, Papetti signed a new deal as well. Was that during the summer? No, it was during January. Someone else we signed to a new contract, but I can't remember who it was. I signed someone else to a new contract, but I can't remember who it was. Oh, Marco Perrone. Yeah, of course, Perrone signed a new deal, and that expires in 4 years' time as well. As I said before, this guy I've got big plans for in the future due to his very high teamwork stat. So a couple of new contracts got given in the summer. Oh, and of course, as well, one of the big ones, Nicola Muri. Where are we here? Nicola Muri. I said I might let him go in the summer on a free transfer and just release the guy on 45 grand a week. Well, he wanted to stay, and he took a pay cut. And if a player is willing to take a pay cut for my club, then I'll pretty much always give them an extension in any save I do. He was on 45 grand a week. He's now on 29 grand a week. You got to give the guy credit for that, man, taking a big pay cut. So he decides to stay, and it's a new 3-year deal as well. I kind of wish it was only a 2-year deal, but the agent locked me into 3 years plus an optional bonus, which I managed to remove. But I don't know why I removed it, to be fair, because I didn't need to. But yeah, it's a 3-year deal, and that will take him up to at least 34 years old, and then he will be released on a free transfer. Regardless, Muri stays, and it's mainly because he took a pay cut. Had he not been willing to take a pay cut, he would have left the club. Bonifazi, for example, he wanted a pay increase, and I was like, what? Pay increase for playing 5 games in 3 years? I don't think so, mate. Oh, and Marco Moller as well. Sorry, talk about saying there's not much to show you. Marco Moller signed a new contract as well. Of course, he was our number 1. He still is officially our number 1, but in the first couple of years of us, the 17-year-old thrown in at the deep end. But once we signed Ordero, you know, as much as we love Marco, the fact of the matter is Emil is just an absolutely class goalkeeper and a step above. Yes, he makes mistakes, but Moller, he got a bit of game time last year when Ordero went into poor form, and I'm not against doing the same thing again this season, but Ordero's still out on official number 1, but Marco says a new 5-year deal, 20 grand a week, and because he's homegrown and trained by the club as well, it's really crucial to have this guy in. So Moller, 5-year deal, and again, he's only 23 years old as well, so a long way to go, and no reason why he can't become our official number 1 to take over from Ordero in the future as well. So just real briefly, a look at the competition's expectations for this upcoming season. Once again, the Supercoppa is not regarded as important. We'll be taking on Milan, who won the Tim Cup last year in the final in January. The Tim Cup, the ball wants to reach the semi-final. Last year, asked to reach the final. How do we do in the Tim Cup again last year, guys? Because I can't remember. I don't even want to remember it. I do remember it, of course. We lost 1-0 to Crotone in the first round. Embarrassing. And as the Champions League as well, once again, very low expectation in the Champions League. Reached the first knockout round. Last year, reached the final. I'm targeting getting back to the final again this year. Let's avenge our demons. And as the Serie A as well, on the back of 3 straight titles, qualify for the Champions League. So they've actually reduced our expectation in the Serie A and the Tim Cup, which I find quite surprising. But there you go. I'm not going to say no to lower expectations. And that's what the board are hoping we do this season on the pitch. And as for our friendlies this season as well, in pre-season, we had a little tour of England, Brighton, Norwich, Wolves and Birmingham in July, and then a few games in August, well, including our Rigamonti Cup, which we won, and also 2 get the testosterone flowing friendlies as well. This is our fixture list for the upcoming season, and there you go. So is there anything else to show you in the run of camera? I suppose the Nations League. You might be wondering about the Nations League. If you watched the Club World Cup, you'd know what happened. Basically in the Nations League this season, Italy, I was going to say Italy reached the final, but lost to Germany on a penalty shootout where Sebastiano Esposito missed one from the spot as well. So Italy's dominance in international football came to an end in the summer, and they also lost a 3rd place playoff on penalties where Esposito missed again. Can you believe that? So yeah, quite interesting to see how that's affected Sebastiano's confidence heading in to his next season with us at the club. Hopefully not at all. I guess we'll have to wait and see. So first of the games of the new season, then the Serie A opener against Niko Kovac, manager of the year at Bologna. At home to Bologna. But when I say at home, it's of course not at the Rigamonti. Yes, for the first time in any FM save I've done, we're sharing a stadium with Chievo Verona and Hellas Verona this year. Brescia to Verona isn't that far. I'm not that clued up on Italian geography, but I'm pretty sure it's about an hour's drive away, it's not too far, but either way, our first time sharing a stadium with someone, whilst the Rigamonti gets some work, and of course after getting thrashed by Bologna on the final day last year, and what was a meaningless fixture to be fair, I'm hoping we'll do a bit better this time around to start the season off. As you can see on the injury report, only 1 player's come back from pre-season injured, and that is Viviani. He literally just got an injury 5 days as well, and he broke his ankle in a testosterone flying game, and he's out for 2 to 3 months. Absolutely gutted about that, because Mattia, he's been here since season 1, one of the OGs, such a class, underrated player, and that's a big blow there. We're missing him for 2 to 3 months. Thank God I signed Rigora, and this will be our team as we go to 4-2-3-1, controlled possession style of play. Only used it once competitively last season, and we'll see how we get on. And yeah, the Gegenpress will still be our main system, but this is a chance to try this one out and see how we get on. So Ordero's in goal, the back four is Pellegrini, Bastoni making his debut, Armin De Pauli with Rigora also making his debut alongside Gavoni. Again, whether he plays box-to-box or deep-line playmaker, not entirely sure, only time will tell. Salcedo and Bacardi, the inside forwards, with Anderson playing through the middle, and Sebastiano, can he put those demons behind him from the Nations League and start off with a goal? Well, let's find out. On the bench, you've got Moller, Paroli, Sestana, Papetti, Muru, Barbieri, De Sisto, Murgia, Storaro, Dalmonte, Franchi, and Simonetti, who I'm expecting to have a breakout season this year. First and only game, it's the Serie A opening day. Bologna at home, Forza Brescia, let's beat Kovac. By the way, Bologna have one of the best young strikers in the world as well. It's not Sebastiano Esposito, but it's Barsotti. Now, this guy signed from Torino, signed for Torino from Roma a few years ago as their replacement to Andrea Bellotti. And all I'm saying is this: I wish I would have raised the funds to sign him, because he is absolutely remarkable. He's only 21 years old. He'll turn 22 in October. He's already been capped 2 times by Italy, which is more than Salcedo, and this guy is just an absolute machine. 6'5", rapid, strong. There's no downside to the guy physically, mentally, reads the game brilliantly with 19 flair, 17 finishing, 15 technique. I mean, honestly, where is the downside to this guy? He is just literally the complete striker in world football. And again, he signed for Torino for 23.5 million. Went down to the Serie B. I talked about it before. They sold Belotti and they replaced him with this guy. All I'll say is this: best bit of business from Torino ever. Incredible. But once they went down, Bologna signed for 27 mil. I so badly wish I signed this guy instead of Andre Anderson. I know we've got a striker overload here, but I would have found a way to fit him in. And I should have done it. That's just a stupid decision for me not to sign him. I'd say he's the one that got away, but he's the one I never made the move on, you know? It's the one you match with on Tinder, but you just never send that message and then they disappear. That's Barsotti. That's the one. Should have made a move, didn't, regret it, cry myself to sleep. Passionately, I'm going to say I know a lot of you will be keen to avenge what happened when you last played Bologna. You bloody well better, but we lost 3-0, so go out there and express yourselves. First game of the season, let's start off with a win against Kovac's side. Yeah, I was scouting him when he was at Roma, and when he went to Torino, I thought it'll be interesting to see how he gets on in the Serie B. And he won the Golden Boot, if I remember correctly, in their debut year in it, and fired them back to instant promotion, back to the Serie A straight away. And when Torino went down a couple of years ago, that active relegation release clause of 27.5 mil is there. And I thought about it, and I thought, well, we've got Esposito, Salcedo, we were about to sign as Anderson's shot is blocked, and there is Eddie Salcedo getting his first goal of the year. You know, Simonetti was about to come in as well, and I was thinking, how am I going to fit this guy in? At the time, I believe we still had Patagna as well. So I opted not to sign him. What a massive error that was from me. But Eddie Salcedo off the mark though, just 15 minutes in. Talked about this guy before. He's a streaky goal scorer. Sometimes he can go weeks and weeks and weeks without one, but 15 minutes into the season, he's our first scorer of the year. 1-0 Brescia. And for Andre Anderson as well, briefly touched on him a moment ago, this is a big season for him. I'm hoping he'll have second season syndrome and just be the sort of player I thought he would be when we signed him initially from Sassuolo. He's going to get the game time this year, but also in the position where he's best at, which is the advanced playmaker / attacking midfield role through the middle. He wasn't able to do that last year due to playing the gegenpress. Now he's going to get the chance. He's got to deliver. Now he's going to get the game time, and he's in his preferred position as well. 26 minutes in, still 1-0. Yeah, I think he can defend Anderson from criticism last year after some low productivity. Because again, mainly he was playing as a box-to-box midfielder or an inside forward on the left. There's no reason why he can't do either of those roles, but they're not his specialty, of course. But this year, no excuses. No excuses whatsoever. 44 minutes in, still leading by 1-0 here in Verona. And we have been a far better team. But Bologna are the sort of side you can't keep around for too long. I want a second goal. Let's go find it. Luca Pellegrini, down left-hand side. That's a wonderful whip ball to the far post. Cleared away. But Rigora picks it up as we still look for a second goal. And a cushion. Fabio De Paoli on the ball. Salcedo, Rigora. Picardi, 2-0, wonderful finish by CP14, a debut assist for Mauro, and Brescia doubled the lead. First time we used this system last year competitively was against Hellas Verona. We only just won by 3-2, courtesy of a late Esposito penalty. I wasn't overly convinced. I used it in one game in the Club World Cup as well. It was, Barsotti, that young man heading just over there, as it's still 2-0. But this year I will give it quite a few games. I will see how the team get on using it. And at the moment, we're doing okay. We're not winning a possession battle, which surprises me, but still, 20 minutes to go, winning the game, that's the most important thing. Simonetti is going to come on for Esposito, who's fired a blank today as Barsotti fires just wide of the post with that 19 flair. You got to expect that. He reminds me a bit of Zlatan Ibrahimovic with the height, the strength, but also the touch for the unexpected as well. But as the game's coming to its close, going to bring on Muri for Pellegrini just for no reason whatsoever, and that will do it. Brescia off to a winning start, 2-0 the final score. We're going for our 4th straight Serie A title, but here in Verona instead of at home. Either way, 2-0 the final score. Don't mind where we are as long as we get the wins. Kovac, I know you won manager year last year, but we both know I'm the better man. 2-0 the final score, perfect way to start. And so that will end today's episode of Club and Country as well, guys. So big thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed it, if you did, then please do drop a like. We will return in the very next episode with games against, we've got to do it, and we've got to do it. The Champions League group draw to begin with right at the start of the next episode, and the opening game of the group as well, whoever it will be against, and also our bogey team, Udinese away from home. My goodness gracious me, we just can't seem to put these guys to bed. We'll have those two games in the next episode though. Have a great day, guys. Much love to you all, and I'll see you in the next episode of Club and Country very soon.